In today's Climate Matters, we have heard a lot about glaciers receding over the last couple of decades due to warmer temperatures. Storm Tracker 4 meteorologist Daniel McFarland joins us live from Midtown with details on what we can expect as the ice continues to melt. Daniel.
Well, Sean, we're not going to see any major impacts in our lifetime. The glaciers are still going to be here 10 and even 100 years from now, but they are getting smaller, and eventually it is going to get a whole lot smaller, a whole lot faster, and that will have an impact here in southern Arizona. Most of the impacts we would have in our state would be indirect. More people would move to an area like Tucson to get away from the coastlines. We would also have a tough time visiting Rocky Point for vacations if sea levels rise due to glaciers receding. Ed Bayshore has lived in Arizona for a while, but lived in the Pacific Northwest, and he went back to visit recently and noticed the recession at one of his favorite spots.
I spent a lot of time at Mount Rainier, and there was an area on the north side called the Carbon Glacier, and I used to visit it regularly. And about 25 years later, my wife and I went back to see it, and we were shocked to find it had receded by about a mile.
Glaciers throughout most of the world have lost between 5 and 10% of their total length in just the past 20 years. In Greenland, however, that loss has been over 15% in that same time. Alaska is another spot that has lost a ton of ice over these last couple decades.
We went to the Columbia Glacier, which has receded 12 kilometers.
It is worth noting that the ice has been receding for the past 20,000 years since the last ice age, but it has begun to speed up a little bit more in recent decades. The University of Washington's Glacial Studies Department has run simulations, and their author said, "All of our simulations show that it will retreat at less than a millimeter of sea level rise per year for a couple hundred years. And then boom, it really starts to go." And so when it really does start to go, another big impact we're going to have here in the Sonoran Desert is that it's going to get a lot warmer a lot faster. From Midtown, Daniel McFarland, News 4 Tucson.
Daniel, thank you. And if you would like to see more on how rising temperatures are impacting us here in southern Arizona, head to our website, KVOA.com/Climate Matters.